Morning, friends. Ash here, WAT News, with another election update. It's November the 17th, 2020, and I wanted to start with this article. Trump hails big victory in Nevada after county board tosses local election results from the New York Post by Stephen Nelson. President Trump on Monday celebrated what he called a big victory in Nevada after Clark County commissioners declined to certify the election's results for a county commission race, though the decision does not directly impact the presidential election results, which commissioners certified. Big victory moments ago in the state of Nevada, the all Democrat county commissioner race on the same ballot as president just thrown out because of large scale voter discrepancy. Clark County officials do not have confidence in their own election security. Major impact, unquote, Trump tweeted. The Clark County Commission, which governs the Las Vegas area, certified the result of the November 3rd election with the exception of County Commissioner for District C, which was divided by 10 votes. District C voters split 76,586 for Democrat Ross Miller and 76,576 for Republican Stavros Anthony. KLAS TV reports Registrar of Voters Joe Gloria told commissioners, "We have found discrepancies that we can't explain that would cast doubt on whether or not the margin of victory is solid." Gloria said there were 139 discrepancies in District C, including 6 people who voted twice, according to local reporters who covered the Monday certification hearing. The county commissioners asked the jury to report back on options to rerun the single local election. He said only that race needed to be repeated because, quote, "that's the only race in the entire election we have any concern related to the outcome, and it's because of the margin," unquote, reported Megan Messerly of the Nevada Independent. Trump lost the state to Biden by 33,596 votes, according to the Associated Press. Clark County is the state's most populous, with about 70% of votes in the presidential race. So you can see the largest county, and you're telling me that this woman beat this guy by 10 votes? Okay. That's kind of hard for me to believe in a county that's that large, but I'm assuming it is possible, right? Um, I wanted to start with that article, and also this kind of struck me as odd. No, not this one. Sorry, guys. It was this one. Sorry. Since Election Day, over 100 of 243 Dominion employees on LinkedIn have deleted their profiles, by Joe Hoft. So why are you deleting your profile? And why is if this is your actual, I don't know, this looks like the vote's on fire. I don't think this is a good I don't think this is a good logo for a company if what your job is to do is to count votes, not burn them. So I don't know. It looks like it's on fire to me. But anyway, so since a couple days after November 3rd, Election Day in the U.S., more than 100 of 243 Dominion employees have deleted their profiles on LinkedIn. This is not a good sign for a company. Over 40% of Dominion's employees with profiles on LinkedIn on Election Day in the U.S. have eliminated their profiles from the social media giant. Rosie Memos reported this yesterday. Why are all the Dominion people deleting their profiles on LinkedIn? It looks like all their software engineers are in Serbia. Nothing could go wrong. Rosie Memos. On November 6th, a couple days after the election, there were 243 employees on LinkedIn. Yesterday, there were only 140 profiles. Here's a list of some of the profiles before they were taken down. Yeah, sounds a little fishy to me, right? I mean, why are you guys all dumping out your profiles off LinkedIn the day after the election? Maybe you don't want anyone to know that you work for this company in case there's some kind of legal issue that comes up later. I don't know. Saw this article on Zero Hedge. This is a little concerning. No, this is Trump. Georgia recount auditor claims multiple Trump ballots fraudulently called for Biden by Tyler Durden. GOP recount observer in Georgia claims that several ballots recorded as Biden were actually votes for Trump, and workers conducting the recount became angry when he reported what was happening to election officials. Insider told Project Veritas, quote, "The second person was supposed to be checking it right 3 times in 3 minutes," she called out Biden, adding, "The second auditor caught it and she said, 'No, this is Trump.' Now that's just while I'm standing there. So does the second checker catch it every time? But this lady, in 3 times in 3 minutes, from 2:09 to 2:12 p.m., she got 3 wrong. He continued, adding, "They were calling their bosses. They were pointing at me." So you can go on Project Veritas if you want to check out that undercover video of this guy claiming that a woman and people in the Georgia poll counting are miscounting the ballots wrong. They're counting them on purpose for Biden instead of Trump. Um, Breaking: Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger initially did not want to order a hand recount, but, quote, wanted to just rescan the barcodes and be done with it, said a source who discussed the recount with him under the state's new Dominion system. Ballots are embedded in QR codes. Paul Sperry. Yeah, so I don't know how many more times we're going to have problems with this company's machines and the software that runs in those machines, but it's starting to look like it's a real mess here. Um, and Another Zero Hedge article: National Election Fraud, Evidence of National Chicanery During the America's 2020 Presidential Election. You can check this article out. General landscape of American election fraud. The media is trying to weave a narrative with ever-shifting goalposts. They began by saying that not only did voter fraud not happen, but that it's impossible. Now they have shifted their story to saying that there is always minor fraud, but that it never really matters much. The Heritage Foundation has identified 1,200 elections where voter fraud made the difference in recent decades, long after the era of Jim Crow, when election theft was de rigueur. Of these, fully 15 were thrown out specifically because of cheating by mail-in ballot. Mail-in ballots are largely banned in Europe, where voter ID requirements are likewise the norm. Florida has been recognized specifically as an offender. Another narrative in the controlled media is that illegal aliens and other non-citizens don't vote. This is patently untrue. In fact, they vote at alarmingly high rates. A 2019 study found that approximately 2.2% of respondents admitted to voting illegally, which implies a little under 1 million ballots cast by non-citizens every year. The counter-argument is that respondents are either lying or misunderstood the question, but this is simply not true. Those who conducted the study verified their votes. So we can see that electoral fraud is not only impossible, it is common. It is not negligible. It has determined elections in living memory. With this as our backdrop, we will now investigate voter irregularities throughout the nation during the 2020 election. And it goes on to a very lengthy listing out of all the different allegations in this election and evidence that they claim of electoral fraud. So I'll include the link to this article in the in the in the video post. Glitch from coast to coast. One recurring theme throughout 2020 is the glitch. There have been a number of glitches, many detailed in our series on irregularities in different states. This in and of itself might not be cause for concern, however. In every case, these so-called software glitches favor former Vice President Biden at the expense of Trump. That's the thing. I mean, if every time the thing glitches, it's only going for one guy. I mean, how many times does that have to happen before you realize that there's a scam going on here, right? I mean, it would be one thing if Trump got some of the votes too. Then you say, okay, the thing's glitching. But it's glitching for both. No, it's only glitching for one guy. So I had one more thing that slipped through the cracks. This article here, I couldn't believe. Nearly 90,000 sexual abuse claims against Boy Scouts filed in organization's bankruptcy case. So this thing, I mean, just from its inception was maybe done for this reason. I mean, it's just horrible. I mean, how could this many people not be vetted? How can this many adults not be vetted and be allowed to work with young men and young boys? I mean, this is insane. So that's about it. I mean, we're still waiting. We got one more day today and tomorrow for the Georgia recount. Georgia counties' uncounted ballots will boost Trump, but by how much? Biden's looking to find a position for Mayor Pete, but he's not even president-elect yet. Trump deniers are running PSYOP for Biden. Roger Stone. Senator Graham denies pressuring Georgia to toss ballots. There's a lot going on here right now, guys. So no new changes in the vote counts on the election map. we're going to have to wait to see how the Georgia recount plays out, and that's going to be pretty important to Trump's chances. So we got till Wednesday at midnight for that, and seems like Sidney Powell's coming out with a lot of information, and it seems like they are collating and getting together huge amounts of information that they are going to at some point release to the public in a way that can be understood, and so that the enormity of it can be understood and seen. So that's my guess on it. And I don't know, Sidney Powell seems like the type I wouldn't want to play poker with someone like her. She doesn't, I don't think she bluffs too much. She looks like she's got the goods to me. So we'll see how it all plays out, guys. And if there's any updates, I will get back with you as soon as I get those updates. So with that, I hope you have a great day. And this is Ash, WAT News, signing off.